Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles Age of Sorcery 3.0 video here on my channel. It's Andy here once again, back with another video, and I thought in this one it's high time that we take a look at Sepermeru, or Set City as it's known, or as its full title is Sepermeru City of the Relic Hunter. And if you're looking for this on the map, it's right over here. As you can see where I am on the far west of the map. If you are doing this early game, this is more aimed for you, but obviously veteran players, it'll also maybe a reminder for you guys as well. But I wouldn't really attempt to run up here too early game until you've at least got yourself a little base set up, got some okay armour, even if you just make yourself some light armour. You could do it in rags, but your key thing is water and food. You would need plenty of it, because you either want to get up on this edge here and follow the storm wall, up along here, up past this red area which is the undead city, or the unnamed city as some people call it. Follow the stone wall all the way up here, and then eventually it'll turn to the left. You can follow it along, you turn to the right slightly and you end up at this gate where we are now, or you can even cross over the river and come up this side, but you will have a few hyenas and things to contend with here, which if you get a few ganging up on you, they are a little bit of a nuisance. But yeah, this is where we are on the map, like I say, up in the west. And what I thought we'd do here is we'll just take a run around Set City, Sepermeru, and I'll just show you some of the main spawn locations for NPCs you can get in here, because you can get fighters, archers, and also your different crafters. There is a bearer spawn here, and you can also get entertainers, or dancers from here as well. And there are actually a couple of good ones you can get. So I do actually have a couple of recommendations for you, so if you stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you what those recommendations are. So if you want to know what they are, stay with us. A lot of the spawns we won't concentrate on because they are just random, either archers or fighters, but there are specific areas where you can get craftspeople or craft persons, shall we say. Don't want to call them craftsmen because obviously, as we know, there are male and female in this, but yeah. So we will now enter the city. As I say, I'll do a quick around, highlight some of the main areas, and in this video I've got a couple of good ones to point out that I think you'll find useful. So yeah, this is where we are, and we'll get going on our tour. Okay, welcome back. So yeah, here we are at the gate, and as I say, if you're coming in from this direction, this is your gate that you'll arrive at. You'll most likely come from across there. If I just fly a minute, just across there. You want to kind of not cut across here. I think that's just a regular rhino, but this one here is a boss, where you can see where my dot is, and I think it's a 3 skull, and at low level, even at good level, he's pretty tough. You want to try and avoid him, so just get yourself along to the edge there, clamber up on here, just stay on this side, run along here, and you'll be absolutely fine. Let's just jump back down, and yeah, so you get to the gate. This will normally be an archer, I think, and it can be a 1 or a 2, male or female. And then on the right here, you've got another couple here, a couple of fighters, I think they usually are, with a taskmaster, again, male or female. So this is a good taskmaster spot, and you can get, I believe a named one can spawn here. It can take a while, but you can get all the numbered ones, 1, 2 and 3, and typically like these are male, female, like I say, and you can get the apprentice and the journeyman here. I think it starts as apprentice, then journeyman, then master, I think, for the taskmasters if I remember correctly, but again that's male and female. So that's a good little spot if you're after a taskmaster early game. Quite easy as well, I mean, because if you, especially if you have another thrall with you, give them the truncheon. If you can kind of take these 2 out, or just get them to knock them all out, if you sort of stand here, obviously these 3 will aggro, but if you get your thrall to hit them, if you've got yourself a decent fighter to start with, they'll take most of the aggro, and that guy over there or whoever's on that gate won't aggro to you, so it would be pretty easy to deal with them. If we carry on in the gate, another spawn there again. again, can be male or female. If you're running out of water as you get here, little lake right there, which is very, very helpful. And then here, this is a spawn here. So this is always a carpenter, again male, female. This I think is just mostly a carpenter a lot of the time. And this can be a fighter again. Now this spawn is a different one because this can be anything crafter wise, or as we can see there's a performer this time. Can be a performer, male or female again, and it can be any of the trades as well. Moving on down, you've got these two here. This is a cook, another cook, and again I've seen these as carpenters and other trades as well. So it can be random, you probably want to kill them a few times. And then you can just see that little stand just there. While we're here, if you climb up onto there and interact with it, you can learn the armour that we're wearing, which you see most of these guys in, especially with the hood as well, or the headpiece, whatever you want to call it. So that's where you learn that. Another spawn just there, another one just there. This is always going to be alchemists. You can, I think, get a legendary from here as well. Again, male, female. There are always 3 alchemists here. Bear in mind these guys all use daggers, so they will do a lot of bleed. And if you attack these, potentially that spawn may come over. But these guys over here certainly will. Which again can be a couple of fighters and another performer spawn there. So that's another dancer spawn, they'll get involved. So just beware, it's probably not the easiest one to do. And we've got the spawn here, again fighter or an archer. And then you can also get smelter, cook, different trades there again. So it's completely random. This guy making a racket around here is another taskmaster. So again that's another taskmaster spawn. A couple of fighters and archers. And then if we just quickly go back here a minute. So you've got this wanderer here, he's another guy. These again, smelter and a tanner. And I think these are always smelters or tanners. Again, there's always a fighter with them. And then you've got that guy on there. And if we come back around here, and I've actually used this one just at this ramp here, which we'll go across here shortly, but just here, this again, this is always an alchemist, male or female, and it can be any level, level 1, level 2, level 3. You can even get a legendary alchemist from here. And to be honest, if you're looking for a good alchemist early on, this is your best spot, because you might get a wanderer if there's somebody wandering around here. They may come down and try and get involved, but typically if you take this one on, especially if you've got a thrall with you, let them be knocking them out. You could maybe try and take on the other person. They are quite easy to kill around here or to knock out, they're not too difficult. But yeah, this is probably an easier spot to get an alchemist than that one up there. Just purely for the fact that less aggro. As I say, this city is what you call a passive city, most of it, meaning, as you can see, even though I am cloaked, I'm using God mode, so they won't attack me even if I hit them. If you came in here and you did hit one of these guys, they will aggro to you and they will all start attacking you. Another wandering archer there, another one down there. This is what you call a wandering spawn again, and that can be any cook, blacksmith, carpenter, tanner. They kind of wander. Bear in mind they can wander up to that gate and go just outside of that gate, so just be mindful of that if you're looking for them. Another one there. And then if we head up towards the market, which is up here, we get into this area, which is your marketplace, where you can buy things from the traders or the vendors, whatever you want to call them. You've got a priest spawn there for set, that can be helpful, that can be a set priest. And then yeah, these guys, like this guy here, these, and there are a couple of that side just there. Merchants that you can purchase things from. Again, can be a mixture of fighter or an archer. this can be one of the trades again, so a cook, an armourer, blacksmith, carpenter, any again. This is always a dancer spawn, and it can be any again at any level. Prison we'll come back to in a second. So come over here. These archers, this is a good spawn point, not just because these three are just your regular archers, everyone's going to be archers, they're just regulars, but it's this spot here. It says it's a Stygian at the moment, but this spawn point here is one of, and I won't tell you the name yet till the end of the video, but this is one of the spawn points that I found in this city for a legendary archer that you can get. She spawns here, and there are a couple of other spots I've also seen her as well, and I've actually got her on a public PvE server that I play on. I didn't get it from this spawn. I'll show you the spawn I got her from, but there are at least 2 if not 3 other spawns where she can spawn, and it's either here or there's 3 others which I'll show you after. That's a really good spot if you want an archer. Another couple of spawns here again, can be a mixture of the trades. Fighter with them there. Archer spawn up there. Can be an archer I think sometimes up there. Fighters here. Excuse me. And then if we run over here, again multiple trades. Archer or fighter. And then if we come around here on this side, this is the prison, and there are 2 guaranteed taskmaster spawns in here again, but bear in mind in here you've got 3 guards on the gate there. You've got a taskmaster spawn there again, all the different levels, male and female. You attack this guy, these are going to go for you, they're probably going to come over, and most likely possibly these guys will. But that's that one, some more guards there, and your other spawn is this one here, again with 2 others there. So that's 2 guaranteed taskmaster spawns that you have there. Then if we come back around to the market, as we say, that's all of that there. So then what we'll do is we'll go back down here. I'll just fly a minute so it's slightly quicker. And this is the route I would normally take if I want to go over to where Conan's bar is, because it's a little bit safer if you run across here. But before you do, if you come to the right here, there's the snake dance emote that you can learn. So if you just stand and watch the ghost for a second, it will then pop up saying that you've learned the snake dance. A couple of cook spawns there, mostly low level ones I think you can only get from there, like 1, 2 and 3. I'm not sure if a legendary spawns there, but there's a secret to that as well. There's a little spot where you can actually get one, and again I'll show you in a second. Yeah, now this bit, when you're running through here, just over there, and also just over here, these guys in this medium armour, I can show you because they won't see me. If these guys see you, these are not passive, so they will come and, if they happen to see you run across there, they don't typically, I think it just tends to be if one wanders across here a bit, they will come and attack you. They won't always normally come, all of them, might just be these 2 at the front or one of them, so just be wary. These are what's known as the bandits, I think they're called, so these are the guys in Sepermeru. There's another area as well, just up near Conan's bar where there are some. They will try and attack you, but your best bet, as I said, there's a few over there as well, as you can see in that area. Some more spawn points here, another archer and a fighter. This guy here, now this again for that archer I was talking about, she can spawn here, legendary archer. I'm not going to tell you her name yet, so I'll show you, but she can spawn there as well, so that's 2 places she can spawn. So that's that one at the market, and this one here. We've got a couple of tradespeople there again, it can be any of them, male and female. Just don't wander too far that way again, because that's the bandits that will attack you. And then if you climb up here, there are 2 dancer spawns again, and can again be level 1 through to 3, and this is another possible legendary spawn. There is a male legendary, I think he's an alchemist but he's actually a dancer, that can spawn here. I've seen him a couple of times, I haven't got him. because I have female dancers, but he can spawn here. And there's also a female legendary that can spawn here, who again I won't spoil the name of, I will show you at the end. And you've got a wandering spawn there, and a couple of fighters there. So then, oops, if we come back this way, got fighters and archers on this gate here. Now this guy, if you talk to him...
Good day, noble adventurer. I am Gilzan, treasure hunter and man of fortune. If you are planning to wander the avenues of this cursed city, then perhaps I can offer some advice. No charge the first time. May your pouch overflow with gold.
Good to know there's no charge the first time, but yeah, if you speak to him, he'll tell you a little bit about the city and what's going on. I won't do it now because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, if you come out here, if you happen to be needing a bit of resource while you're here, you've got some iron nodes around here. There's only a few, but a couple, but it's worth grabbing while you're here. Again, fighter spawn, archer spawn. These can be two of the trades again. Again, male, female, all the different trades. There are some up there which I'll show you in a second. And then, yeah, this is Conan's bar, where you need to come to when you want to speak to Conan as part of your journey steps in the game. He's in here. I'll show you where he's in a sec. These again, fighters and archers, mixture of male and female. Another couple there. Yeah, now there should be a tavern counter there, but unfortunately on the console we've got some bugs at the minute that are making certain things that shouldn't be invisible. But there's a book on there, and if you learn that, that shows you that. And there's another book here, and if you click on this one, you'll see there you learn different conversation emotes, which are really good. 3 dancers up there again, and can be male and female, and again all level 3s in here. There will always be a level 3, but again probably one of the toughest places to try and get a dancer out of. So unless you're really kitted out and really prepared and got a decent thrall here to knock all them out, be my guest and try it, but if not, I'd avoid it otherwise. There are other areas on the map where you can get a level 3 from. Over this way, wanderer there. Yeah, again, this corner we're coming to, this is another group of the bandits again. Over here you got fighter and archer, and as you see there is bearer spawn, and he or she will typically spawn about here. They'll wander so far down there, and then they tend to wander over here. They can wander out that gate and to the left a bit, but they can also wander into this area. This could be an alchemist, but this is a risky one to try and grab because again, if these guys spot you, they're not passive, they will come and attack you. So just be very wary. If you want to kill this bearer or you want to knock them out, I would wait personally until they get about here by this tree, and if you try and start knocking them out about here or get your thrall to do it, typically they won't aggro because they won't see it, and you won't also pull the bandits from over there. You'll be able to do it quite safely without any trouble. And if you're running back that way, just stick against these guys, keep against this wall, and you should be good. Yep, so if we carry on now down this way. Oh, also just on top of that roof there, just there are a couple of wooden chests which can have early game loot in, which can be helpful, all sorts of bits and pieces. Now over here, this little island, and it's not them that have spawned, but we have this guy at the minute who is this girl who is a cook 2. Again, it can be cook 1, cook 2, cook 3, and there's also somebody else who can spawn here. I'm not going to say the name again because this is my other recommendation I've got at the end. And to get this one, again you get them in male and female, and it's surprisingly really easy. Typically I find if I've come here on the PvE server, I kill the first one of these that's here, whatever level it is, come back to 15-20 minutes later, do it again. Typically a third time of killing them, when I come back it will be this particular spawn that I'm talking about, and they're probably one of the best things you could get. for your base at the moment, but I won't spoil it, I'll talk about them after. That is the wine cellar. You press this to interact, you go into the wine cellar dungeon where you got Seth, whatever you want to call him. A little one to go boss, and if you kill him he will drop his truncheon, which is the best knockout tool in the game. Not guaranteed to drop it every time, so you might have to kill him a few times. And just as you go in, there's another little room with an archer or fighter spawn for relic hunter treasure seekers, which I do recommend you try and get yourself a couple of them, because as fighters they are pretty good. I've got 2 on my PvE server at the moment, both wearing agility armour and using a katana, leveled in agility, and they are just absolutely destroying everything. They're pretty fun if you're running, I mean you could do it even with 1, but if you're running the war party, relic hunters are definitely a good safe bet to go for, and you can get 2 really easy in there. I'll show you at the end of the video. Carrying on down here, cook station, so again a cook, archer or a fighter, another dancer spawn. I don't think there's anybody up there. These will always be carpenters, so all numbers again, male and female. A couple of blacksmiths. Carry on down here, and if we go up to this gate, and again you've got archer spawn and another archer spawn, and I do believe this is possibly one of those locations again where this mystery legendary can spawn. She can spawn either there or there. And then if we run around here, past this, so you run around these rocks. This is just another way to get up to that top bit that you saw me look near at the gate. This spot here, fighter or an archer again. And then this spot right here where this guy stood, this is another spot where she can spawn. Yes, it is a she. That might be a clue, veteran players may know who I'm on about. But yeah, she can spawn right here, and this is the very spot where I got her from on mine. The only aggro you'll really probably get is a person off that station there, and whoever's guarding here. You might get somebody else from down there, but typically you don't. But yeah, she can also spawn there. And I think that's... Well, certainly keep an eye on all the gates where you have those archer stands on the other side. You could spawn there, but the main ones I've seen is that area near the market, the one on that little doorway, and also here. And this is always an armourer. And then this, I believe, is a couple of blacksmiths, again male and female, all levels. One there. This is a performer, I think that's always a performer spawn. And if you have to set priests, 3 here, again there are a chance of named ones spawning. And then over the back here, got a little tent, another location here where a set priest can spawn, or maybe 2. Sorry about the noise, yep, see there, set priest, so you can get them from there. And that will bring you back here. So that is pretty much everything I think in Sepermeru. As I say, apart from those couple of areas I've showed, it is pretty much safe to wander around here. If you're bringing a thrall with you and you don't want to just start a war straight away, personally what I do, if you want to bring them in with you, is just under their attack and engagement, just set them as guard me. Meaning that unless you get attacked by something, they won't start fighting and just try and take on the whole city, which can get a bit hectic. And unless you give them a command to attack something, they won't attack anything. Same even if they've got the truncheon, so you look at the person you want to knock out, give them the truncheon and tell them to knock them out. So that is Sepermeru. While we're here, before we just go to my little station to show you the recommendations that I have that you can get from here. As I say, this is the wine cellar. So if we pop in here, I am cloaked in god mode, so nothing will attack me, but you'll spawn in here. Try and keep your thrall or thralls, followers, whatever you want to call them, right near you at this doorway, and then they will both, or they will spawn in. If they don't, just run about here carefully and they should eventually spawn. Yeah, this is Seth, so if you, as you see, he's a one skull boss, but it's pretty easy to kill, especially with a couple of thralls. Kill him, and there's a potential for him to drop his truncheon, which is the best knockout tool in the game. And this here can be an archer or a fighter, or two fighters or two archers, again male and female, relic hunter, treasure seekers. There are some others you can get in there, which I'll show in another video sometime, talking about the relic hunter, like fighters and archers, but for the minute, once you kill Seth, come in here, knock these out, you can go back to your base. By the time you've got back to you, you've come back, Seth will probably respawn, you can kill him again, knock these out again if you want any of them. And that is the wine cellar. So what we will do is I will come out of here, and I've got a little station set up not too far from here. So what I'll do is I will head over there and I will join you in a second and talk about these couple of recommendations I've got. So I'll see you in a second. Well, welcome back here at my little station, and as you can make out behind me, I have an archer and a fighter stood behind me, and these are relic hunters which you can get from the wine cellar, which is where we've just been. And if we come over here to this guy, so this is the armour they'd be wearing. Obviously when you tame them, they will come out of this armour and they will be in the rags, the coarse clothing which you have at the start of the game. Any thrall that you tame will come off the wheel in the coarse clothing, but as you can see, this guy for example, he's our relic hunter treasure seeker. He comes out of the box with 2814 health, and he has 0 in strength, 20 in agility, 10 in vitality and 15 in grit, which is pretty decent. It can be random each time, but that's him. And he can be, again, male, or it can be a female. That's an archer. Same with the fighters. She comes out of the box with 0 in strength, 20 agility, 10 vitality, 15 grit, but she comes out with 3030 health, so it's all different health on them all the time. But these, I saw this on video by, I think it was Black4863. He runs a war party build that he's just done using 2 relic hunters, and I saw that video, so go check him out if you haven't seen it. It's a really good video. I think the title's something like Never Die Again, and it's the Immortal Commander build or something. Just been done in the past month or so. Really good, really fun. Like I say, if you put them in Stygian Soldier, I think it is, builds up their agility, give them a katana, and wow, they just they destroy everything. 2 relic hunters are definitely fun. Yeah, really good. And while we're on the subject of checking things out, if you are enjoying this video, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It would be nice to have you in the community, and we would welcome you very much so. We are a growing channel looking at doing new content and covering existing games. And give me a good like, hit that like button while you're there as well, just gets this video out to more people. Because the more interest we can get in videos, obviously the more content I can keep doing for you guys, because the more you enjoy them, the more I enjoy making them, and I get great joy out of seeing that you guys are enjoying my content, and it gives me a real booster to realise that you guys want this content, and I can do it more often. So yeah, that is the relic hunters. Now, this mystery archer we were talking about is stood over here, chatting to our friend on the left who is actually a performer. We'll talk about her in a second, but as you can see by the name there, Lisa O the Longbow. Yep, now those locations I showed you, I kept talking about a mystery archer that can spawn. This is her, and this is what she will look like when you find her in game. She'll be wearing this armour. She won't necessarily be stood in that pose, but that's the armour she'll be wearing. And when she comes out of the box, this is what she'll look like. Say out of the box, off the wheel, whatever you want to call it. And she will come out with 0 strength, 20 agility, 10 vitality and 15 in grit once again, and 2556 health. So she's a pretty decent archer, and she's a good one. Can spawn pretty often, I think. But like I said, I've just got her recently on a PvE server. Just need to level her up, but I've got her now. So that's a legendary archer. And as I say, this is her in game. and she's chatting away to Luba the Luscious, who is a legendary, so tier 4 performer, which, if you remember the little spot on top of the hill that I stopped at, where there were 2 performers and a wandering spawn, and I said to you about the male performer that can spawn, and I said there's also a female. That's one of the locations where she can spawn, and I believe she can spawn at the dancer spot in the marketplace that we looked at. There may be other locations, and I think there are other locations around the map where she can spawn, but that's where I've got her from. And as we see there, she comes out with 2,556 health, 0 in strength, 20 agility, 10 vitality and 15 grit. So if you're looking for a legendary performer, keep killing that particular spawn and eventually you may hit lucky and get Luba to spawn. Now, before we go anywhere, if you remember that little island at the back of Conan's bar I took you to, where I said there were all different cooks, and if you kill those cooks that spawn all the different levels, 3 maybe 4 times, if you're lucky, you might get, and I've had to put them on here because it's the only way I can show them, one of these guys to spawn. Again, it can be male, all different hairstyles, and normally they have the headpiece on, but for some reason these haven't. And the female, and these, as you can see by the name there, if you see on the left or even up on the top middle, they are known as the Lone Fisherman, and they are a legendary cook. And if you don't know, or as many of you do know, legendary cooks can come with some different specialist recipes that your regular cooks in the game don't have. And the spawn rate for these legendaries does seem to be pretty good on PvE servers particularly, because over the past few days I've been to Sepermeru a few times. I've got a little base set up just outside the main gate where we started, and I've been coming in, I'd kill that cook that was there, go off and do something else, come back the 15-20 minutes later, kill them again, do the same again, and typically after 3 or 4 spawn kills of the cook that's there, I've ended up with either a female or a male lone fisherman that spawned, and then I've left it a bit, then I've come back later in the day, even done the same thing again, rinse repeat 3 or 4 times, and it's either been the male if it was the female last time, or it's been the female that spawned, and I've been able to get at least 2 of each, 2 females, 2 males, all within a couple of days, pretty easy. So yeah, if you're looking for a legendary cook, that's a really easy way to get them early game as well, because they're on that little island, especially if you've got a thrall with you. If you can help your thrall, if you've got a shield, you could block their attacks, use a truncheon yourself as well. They're pretty easy to knock out, surprisingly. Take them back to your wheel, tame them up. You can use them on your campfire, but typically I would say use them on your stove or your improved stove when you get it. That's probably the best way to use them. But yeah, they are my top recommendation for cook, is try and get yourself the lone fisherman sort of as soon as you can. Doesn't matter if it's male or female, it's purely preference. I would look at getting Lisa. If you want a decent archer for your base, you could keep looking for her and get, I don't know, a whole clan full of Lisas if you wanted a lot of archers all the same. Keep an eye out for Luba the Luscious while you're around if you've got a legendary dancer, pretty easy. But definitely fighter wise, once you're getting towards the end of early game into mid game, or even early-ish game, but I would say wait till you've got some basic armour for yourself to protect yourself a little bit, because they do take a bit of knocking out, these guys, but they're not quite as tough as a berserker. Their health, believe it or not, can go slightly better than a berserker, certainly out of the box. Relic hunters, I never used to think of it, but the relic hunters from the wine cellar, there are some in the unnamed city, but they're the best place I've farmed them from. I highly recommend getting yourself relic hunters, either as base defenders or as your follower to follow you around. So those are my recommendations: relic hunters for fighters, lone fisherman for your cooks, legendary archer and a legendary dancer. So I hope you found that helpful, guys. I certainly found this helpful to make. Got a right buzz, shall we say, when I got the idea of thinking, do you know what, I need to help people out a little bit. These are people I've found and I've found really easy at Sepermeru, and I hope it'll just be a refresher for anyone who's played the game for a while, but I hope this will be helpful to especially new players. As I said earlier, give me a big old thumbs up if you did find this helpful. Consider subscribing so you don't miss any further Conan Exiles content. we've got chapter 2 of Age of Sorcery coming up very soon, so I'll keep an eye out for that. And any other content that's on the channel, why not check it out, why not consider subscribing for new content and information in the future. Right, that's it from me guys, until the next one, you all stay safe, have fun and take it easy. Bye for now.